so I'm gonna attempt to do a makeup look without it being a voiceover. Since everybody in the house is asleep, daughter might wake up because she's in the next room over, so I'm gonna try to be a little quiet. Hopefully she doesn't, and we're gonna get this look done. So let's get right into it, and here we go. So I'm gonna be doing a look today because I promised to do a video for someone, and it's gonna be a quick video, but I gotta get my makeup done and all that kind of stuff before I could do the video and then send that off. So, and I want to talk to you guys today because I didn't really talk to you guys the last couple of times that I've been doing my makeup. Just go in with this NARS color. It is stable, but it looks like this, and it has a little mirror on it. So I'm gonna go right in with that and just put that all over my lid. My eyebrows, I'm not even gonna do today, but I am going to conceal them because I need a concealer base underneath. And I hope I stay in frame. And I'm just lining what's already there. I didn't even clean the brow up. But this makeup look is literally for a couple of videos, and that's it. And I'm not going anywhere, so don't judge. And then I'm just gonna press this in, guys. And you just want it to be smooth across the lid. I had posted a status like a few weeks ago, and I had told people, like, I'm just gonna go in with this dark brown shade right here in the nude palette from LA Colors. But, and I'm gonna just place it right here because I want my eye to be deep and dark. I don't have no black, but we're gonna do something where it's a dark, sultry, smoky eye. Yeah, but this guy inboxed me inquiring if I would, and I think he found me, he was just like a person who saw my reel on Facebook because it's public, so anybody can see them, and they can follow me. So he was just one of those guys that saw a reel. He wasn't a Facebook friend. He hit me up on my messenger and he said, hey, would you mind doing a photo shoot for me? I pay well. I'm in Toledo. Okay, I said inquire at my business email, www.rockystreetz2.0.com. That's what I told him. He said, okay, I'll do that. But before I do, I wanted to ask you if you would mind stepping on me with your feet, something. So this guy is talking about something about a fetish, and I ignored him because you don't fucking follow directions, okay, sir? Red flag number 1. I'm telling you what to do, and you're on my personal shit trying to get me to commit to something. And I just gave you my business email. This is not for business. This is for pleasure. You know, and he didn't understand that, and I wasn't going to explain it to him, so I just ignored him. 3 days go by. He said, I'm about to email you, because he saw I didn't respond. Okay. Then he emailed me. The next day he said, did you get it? I don't like my lids dark, so I'm going to just pop some color on them. And it's going to be this one right here in the middle because I don't want nothing too light. I just don't want my eyelids dark. So I want it to kind of look the same as my skin. Because I don't feel like looking like I got on a whole full face of makeup. So we're not even going to do like a bright under eye today. But anywho, so he comes into my inbox and he says, did you get it? I didn't respond. So then he comes back like a couple of days later, and then he just popped up on the top of my notification on my phone. It dropped down and it was like, will you kick me in the balls for money? This is my messenger again. And I said, sir, and I told him, I said, I'm gonna kick you in the balls for free if you don't get the hell off my Messenger account. He said, no, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or nothing like that. He's like, but I just want to, I'll pay well. I said, no, thank you. Like, get the hell out of here. Like, you know, so it's been just some weird stuff going on in the last couple of days, and I don't understand it. Now, I want to do my liner, my wing liner. This part you may not see because I don't know if I can do it on camera. I'm supposed to pull. I really hate when I like do my eyes and I be sitting there and my face be like, and I go back to watch the video footage and my face be like, it's like the ugliest. I'm like, who else feels that way about themselves and they just don't say nothing because you know, the people in the comments aren't saying anything. I don't know, I'll point that out about myself. I be making some ugly faces, y'all. Like, busted, okay? And I gotta work on that as I go forward with my makeup journey. So I feel like having on a full face of makeup. So I'm gonna go with Bobbi Brown, and it's in the color Bronze 65W. This was my first summer color foundation that I've ever purchased because it's hard to find my shade. And I literally, it's the first one that I found that actually works. So I'm gonna just take this stick and I'm gonna hit, and I'm gonna really go in around this hyperpigmentation area. All the bullshit's for the birds. You ain't nothing but a vulture. Always hoping for the worst. Waiting for me to mess up. You'll regret the day when I find another boy. Knows just what I need. Knows just what I need. When I tell him. I feel like rose water does tricks too. So you want your makeup to look dewy or whatever and not matte. You can pop a little spray on there so it'll blend in smoothly because it's not so dry. I guess another thing I could talk about is the fact that I met a guy. I didn't meet him, actually. I never met the guy. I never met him. He is in the military currently, and he's not in the country right now because of that. So the guy reached out to me on TikTok, and I saw that he followed me, and I was like, looking, and he caught my eye, and like had on his army uniform. And so I went ahead and I followed him back. And the next day he messaged me, he said, "Hi, beautiful." And I said, "Hi, how are you?" But I noticed that every time that I commented with him, he wouldn't respond for like 6-7 hours and vice versa. So I wouldn't see his text because of the time of day it was. And so I asked him, I'm like, "Hey," I was like, "I'm good, how are you, and what time zone are you in?" And because I could tell we were in different time zones because we just kept missing each other. And so he was like, he told me he was in, and that he was, you know, on a mission or whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm gonna scratch that part out of the video only out of respect for him because he don't want, they really can't have people know where they are right now. So anyway, but that's neither here nor there anyway. So I talked to him he sent me messages basically saying how yeah, we can't text, we can't send video, we can't send photos, nothing. Is a secret mission and no one needs to know where we are because it could compromise the whole entire camp. And I'm like, okay. I was okay with that at first, and then I started thinking that he was my one of my ex, because I had recently blocked my ex off of my social media accounts, and he did tell me last time I saw him that I want to stop at nothing to, I want to be in your life some way, somehow. I don't care how, this and that. So I ended up blocking my ex because my ex was saying a lot of rash things about me behind my back, and I found out. So he ended up, and I'm just blending and blending and blending, by the way, you guys, because this is the secret to having a flawless makeup look. When you put it on and think you done, no, keep blending. The guy told me that he asked if I was married. I told him I was married and that I was getting a divorce. He said, how long has that been over? I told him almost 2 years. He's like, oh, okay. He was like, well, I'm a widower. I'm like, oh. Guy is 36 years old, in the military. He said she left me with a daughter. And I'm like, And I said, oh, wow, it's kind of sad. And the story is way sadder, but I'm not going to tell y'all all of it. But I just want to tell you, like, I met this fucking guy. And when I tell you, he was absolutely gorgeous. Like, absolutely gorgeous. Like, I completely told myself I was not dating any more black men because I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with all the shit that they think is supposed to be normal now and it's not. And I'm an old-fashioned kind of girl, so normal for them is not normal for me. So I tried. My ex was a white guy, and
Yeah.
it was some good, but it was some really crooked shit going on with him and his personality, so he has some personality flaws. But other than that, I feel like it wasn't that bad of a relationship. I did go ahead and I started talking to this guy, and I talked to him for a few days, and I started getting vibes. Like, he was doing weird shit, like using white boy emojis when he texts, the little emojis that be like, or he was using white boy emojis, and I'm with blonde hair on them, and I'm like, but you're black. So at this point now I'm thinking I'm being catfished, and he like, LOL, no, that's just what I like to use. I'm used to it. Yeah, no, because you already told me I can't see who you were. Because so that wasn't sitting well with me, I'm going to go in with the warm honey and the Pro Concealer. Yeah, like, it just wasn't sitting too well with me because if I could see what you look like, that would be different. He cannot compromise his cap, y'all. He can't. He can't. So no, I couldn't see what he looked like. No, I couldn't get pictures. No, I couldn't get text messages. I couldn't get, I got text messages through WhatsApp, but I couldn't get, and he said he was sneaking to do that. Like, he can't talk on the phone. So it's a little funky to me, but I don't like it. But we got into this big spat because I told him, like, okay, at some point I just thought it was my ex, and I told him, I said, well, I'm not willing to continue until I know, because I was trying to get him to like call and just hang up. Just call me and let me see your face and hang up. You don't have to talk, or send me a picture, send me your dog tag, send me something. And he was like, well, you don't trust me, and I already see that you're not gonna be able to trust me, so I'm not gonna beg for nobody's love, and hopefully I never do. And he ended up I was like, okay, fine, fuck it. He started like to ignore me, want to text me. So I'm like, fuck it. I told him I didn't really feel comfortable, so he stopped talking to me. And I felt so bad, but something was like telling me, like, bitch, like, I don't know, like, I just didn't feel right not talking to him. So 3 days go by, I heard nothing from him, probably 4. And then I reached out because he sent me an emoji, but I ended up reaching out and just saying, like, hey, I said, I don't feel right, like, not talking to you. Do you feel it? And I was like, it feels so weird. Do you feel it? He was like, yeah, I do. He's like, but what do you want me to do? You said that you weren't comfortable talking to me. And he said, and I told you I was going to FaceTime you as soon as I got a chance, and you still wasn't listening, this and that. I'm like, all right, well, I left one important detail out of the story is this guy, he is not from America. He was born in Jamaica. And he moved to the United States when he was 16 years old. So he has a very strong accent. And I know that because the point of the story, it has something to do with it. And I need y'all opinion on something because hopefully he never ever watches this video. But I caught myself thinking like, okay, well, maybe he'll talk to me again because I wasn't feeling right? And so I ended up reaching out. He said it's okay. He called me Best. He said, oh, it's okay, Best. And so we started talking again. And then 3 days later, it was just like a lot of red flags for me. Like, because he was telling me like that he was only eating bread and stuff. So I'm thinking like, is this motherfucker about to ask me for some money? Because that's not okay, you know. And he explained his situation to how he can't use his card and this and that. And him and other people been bringing him stuff to eat and shit. And he needed my support. So at this time, I'm like, I don't even know. He wanted me to send money through Cash App to his commander's wife so that he could eat something decent because they were only feeding them bread and that's all they could eat. He said it was other things that they had, but it's just hard to eat. Either way it goes, it was like, I'm like, fuck. I said, so I start accusing him of being like a fucking scammer or somebody from Afghanistan because I'm like, how in the hell are you gonna just ask me for money? And I said, I don't know black people who would even allow somebody to send that stuff if they don't know what the person looks like in the pictures. And he was getting so upset. He was like, you're making me upset, you're making me hurt. I'm not used to black people talking like that either. So I'm thinking like, this is not a freaking black person on the other end of this, right? I was not believing none of it, right? And so I ended up going to he was like, no. He was like, you know what? He was like, please, like, I'm hurting. You making my feelings hurt. And I don't understand. I don't get you and all that. So he was like, you know what? He was like, I'm tired of this. He was like, I'm a FaceTime. He said, I'm a video call you in a little while. He said, and after that, please don't call my phone no more. Like, what the fuck? So I technically ran away. And I'm like, what the? I told him, I texted him again. I said, if it's you, I'm not about to let you go. I'm not about to let you go. Like, if y'all seen this guy, when I tell you he is fucking gorgeous. He not pretty. He's cute as hell. Like, he matches me. We look like we probably could be siblings, okay? And we was talking on a very deep level too. Like, we talked about a lot. He asked all the right questions and everything, and it was, I'm like, wow. Like, I feel like if you've ever felt like God put somebody literally here for you, that's how I felt. So of course I started feeling like this shit ain't real. It's no fucking way. Like, I ain't no way. So I doubted more, and I basically ran him off. You know, because that's what we do here in Ohio. We run motherfuckers away. And so ended up going and he asked me for money. He's like, you think you could send me something so I could eat a decent meal? So he said he kind of had some other guy helps him out with food, so he wanted to return the favor, you know. So I sent him a little bit of money, and in my head I'm thinking, okay, if this guy is just out here to scam women. Now at this point we've been talking 3 weeks. 3 weeks, and I'm like, if he out here to scam women out of money, then I don't know. I just couldn't understand. I'm like, damn. Like, I've never been a female to actually give a man money. Like, I've never done that before. So if somebody uses me, they've never been able to. My ex-husband was a narcissist, so he was stealing from me out of the bank account. He wouldn't combine his shit, and he would spend all his and then take all the rent money out of mine, like that kind of stuff. So but I've never given a guy money, ever. I've never even really bought men stuff because my father raised me. We knew better than that, you know. So I went ahead, and I'm thinking he's in the military, clearly. Okay, so here's the deal. So I was pissed off, though, because I'm like, this ain't him. I thought it was an Afghanistanian or Asian person on the phone hacking, you know, doing all that, because the English was so broken on the text messages, too. And that was another problem I had. Aside from the white boy emoji being used, it was instead of LOL, when you laugh, he put smile. Every time, smile, smile. He smiled a lot. And then he was always putting like hour instead of IO, like his English was not right. And I'm like, there's no way, because I don't care if you didn't finish school, you know IO is ILL, not OUR. But hour hit you, I'll get back to you in a few, babe, this and this and that. And I'm like, what? And so I asked him about it. I said, it's the grammar for me. He said, I'm sorry, love, that's how I talk. But I forgot that he was from Jamaica, y'all. I did. I completely forgot he was from Jamaica. So, yeah, he was right. That's how he talked. But it was a problem for me. So I started being an asshole because I'm thinking somebody's trying to scam me, right? Talking shit. Like, no, because you're a fucking scammer, and I'm going to find who's behind the real page. I'm going to figure out where you got these photos to put on TikTok, because none of his stuff was live. It was all photos he put on TikTok and made like slideshows out of. So I'm like, okay, no videos, just photos. I said, it's cool. I said, I'm gonna find the real person, and I'm gonna let them know that you're using their pictures to lure women in, to scam them out of money and this and this and that. He's like, oh my God, is that really what you think of me? And he said, this is really hurtful. He was like, please. He was like, you know what, just don't, I don't want to comment anymore. And that's when he said, I'm gonna call you in a little while, and after that, please don't contact me no more. And I'm thinking like, no, because I was being mean. And in the Jamaican world, you don't be mean to them because they don't understand that. They're not used to women disrespecting them. Us strong American women can't really fuck with a Jamaican if you can't back that shit up. You gotta back it up and just pause and control your anger, because they're not used to it. It hurt them. And if you hurt a Jamaican, oh my God. They gonna hurt your ass back. They gonna hurt your feelings. So, but it slipped my mind that he was Jamaican. So, I wish I knew what time it was. But anyway, so we went ahead and I was like, you know, he fell out or whatever. I got home. I was at work when all this was going down. I got home. He was like, I'm about to call you. And I said, okay. I said, okay, love. But I had already texted him a message. I said, if you call me and it's you, I'm not letting you go. So, no. I said, but I don't believe that it's you. And so he called me, and all I could see in the screen was like dark. It was black, and I saw the whites of somebody's eyes. And I'm like, and it hung up really quick. He was like, hold on, it was a bad reception. I told him, I said, I couldn't see you. It was too dark. He said, I know, I'm about to get to the light. And he called me back again, and in the light, he was outside, like walking. And he put it up to his face for like 3 seconds, and then he hung up. But I smiled because I'm like, wow, it's really him. And he was in his full uniform with his helmet and everything. He looked paranoid. But he told me before he called, he said, I'm risking it all. And he did send me the paper before. He sent it twice. He sent it before, and he sent it when I didn't believe it was him that night. Like, it was a paper from the government stating what would happen to them if they did violate, and that it was forbidden, and you know what I mean. And it was a sealed stamp of approval on there, a literal seal of approval on it from the government. So I'm like, he sent me that paper. I still didn't believe it because I'm like, you could have made this on Google. You could have made this on Google. Like, you know, I'm like, I just wasn't believing it because it's like, how do you meet somebody? You're not in a position to try to get to know anyone. You need to just stop and then just wait till you're home and not at war, and then you can get to know whoever you want. Because who the fuck is going to believe that? You know, so he ended up calling me for 3 seconds and he hung up the phone. And so, yeah, enough for me to see it's him. And I also could see that he was not in our country, you know. He was in another country and he was in full uniform. And all I could do was smile. And then he hung up. He said, "You smile, what's wrong?" And I told him, I said, "Nothing's wrong." I said, "You just cured my heart because I literally thought you were not you." And I was disappointed because I really was like, man, he was so dreamy. Such a nice looking guy. And I'm like, ain't no way. This can't be real. He can't be real. Like, you reached out to me looking like that. And yeah, so he was real, y'all. But so then again, he was hungry, of course. So I went and sent him a little bit of money, right? I sent him a little bit of money, and we talked about a lot of things. Now where I'm at with it right now is I don't know if he is like a person that's just gonna use somebody for money so he can eat. He may be in survivor mode, which is what my husband used to say he was in. So he would use anybody for anything and not give a fuck about their lives because he was in survivor mode. He didn't even know how to get out of it when we were married. He still used these other women for things, and they shouldn't have been around. So he had to get the hell out of my life, you know, long story short. So I'm gonna go in with this color here just to keep some. And baby girl is awake, and he kept saying thank you, appreciate it, love, and this and that. I really appreciate that. That's, you know, a blessing. And he keep telling me how I'm a blessing to him, and he wish he would have met me before deployment, all this kind of stuff, right? And so he's saying you're mine now and you're gonna be with me and this and that. And I'm thinking, like, is he still scamming me though? Like, are you still a scammer? So he kept being nosy, which he never did before. So I was like, oh, he always texts me all day, all night. And he said, I said, oh, nothing, just paying bills. He said, what bills? I said, my truck note and my phone bill. He was like, how much are they? And I'm like, damn, you nosy. I said, oh, I didn't say that because I didn't want to piss him off because he's Jamaican and that would have hurt his feelings. So, and I don't know if he has a sense of humor yet because we just texting. So I told him, I was like, dang, you nosy, with a little cute flirty emoji. He put LOL. And so I went ahead and I paid my truck note, which was $412. And then I called him. Then I sent it. I screenshotted it and sent it to him. I was like, here you go, nosy, like that. And then he hit the like on it or whatever. And he had already asked me how much I paid in rent. And he thought that was expensive. But the fact that he lived in Miami, I'm thinking, like, why do you think that's expensive if you live all the way in Miami? But Miami, he owns his house and he also owns one in California. So I'm like, okay, well. He told me, he was like, well, babe, he was like, I want to tell you something. He said, I got my English language my tense is correct for the first time today. He said, so I want to tell you, I love you, I loved you, and I always will love you. He said, you are God's sent for me. And he told me, he said, I just want to tell you that I'm going to be the one paying your bills when I get home in December. And I'm like, So he asked me for money to see if I would send it to him and if I would help him. He said, we've been talking 3 weeks and since that before he asked me for the money. So he was basically trying to see, is she for me? Is she really going to help me? I couldn't afford to help him, but I did send him the money for food for the week or whatever. And he was like, wow. So he told me he said, I'm gonna be paying your bills when I get home in December. He's like, I'm gonna be the one paying your bills because you're mine now and you're my responsibility. And I'm thinking, like, where they do that at? They do that in Jamaica? I didn't know that. I didn't know how to respond. Ooh, I'm so trifling, y'all. I didn't know how to respond. So I was sitting there for a minute and I texted him back. I said, you can afford that? And he put smile. Yeah. LOL. And I'm like, okay, well, I said, I'm going to be okay, soon. Like, I'm moving to Houston. So I said, I'm going to be all right. I'll be making a lot of money soon, so you don't have to pay my bills, sweetie. He was like, yeah. He was like, I don't, but I want to. He was like, and you're my responsibility, so he was like, that's something that I can do for you, right? Correct? And I'm like, he keep telling me too, like, man, please don't let nobody else come in and take you before I get back, and this and that. And I'm like, I'm not. I don't want you, So it's just, I don't know what to think, because he could very well possibly be still a scammer. Like, you know what I'm saying? He could just be telling me that. So I would feel more comfortable to give him more money and then he can ghost me at the end. Or, I don't know. What y'all think? Like, do y'all think it's a great possibility that I could be getting played right now? Or what? Like, what your opinion is? Because I'm literally at the point where I'm like, if he really means what he said. Then he turned around and asked me if I would give him a baby. We've been talking 3 weeks, y'all. But he's like, you're perfect to me. You're perfect for me. I wish I would have met you sooner. This and this and that. He said he have dated women, y'all. He have dated plenty of women. He just haven't found one that he would like to marry. And he did want to continue to have kids. His wife passed away when his daughter was 2. She's 5 now. And she had a little boy before they met. And he's taking care of the little boy as well. So, yeah. So I don't have a bright under eye. I'm going to make it a little brighter, though. Just a little. And I'm going with the pure beige. And so... I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. But if he does play me, I'm not giving up enough money to where it could hurt me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like hoping that he don't continue to do that, because like he said, he don't have his car. Like, he can't use his car. So he probably will ask me for more money. I don't know. But either way it goes, it's not enough for me to... If he did ghost me, I'm not gonna be hurt about it. Like, it's okay. And he's in the military, so why not feed a fucking military person if you feed anybody else? Like a soldier, you active in that shit right now. Yes, I will feed you gladly, like just like people feed veterans for free around here. It's no big deal. The fact that his possibility that he would probably ghost me and I never see or talk to him again, that's an issue. But I just can't let my feelings get too wrapped up in him, because I know that that's a great possibility. He keeps telling me I have to trust him. I have to trust him. He was telling me it before I saw that he was real. He was like, you gotta trust me. Like, you just got to. It's the only way. Like, I'm like, that we gonna get to know each other. I'm like, all right, well, I don't know what he saw. So I was asking him, I'm like, what did you see? Like, what video did you see on my TikTok that caused you to, follow me, message me? How many other people? And he said, I asked him, I said, why me? Because it's plenty of girls on TikTok. And he told me, he said, because God told me to. And I'm like, I hope he's not lying on God, because it's fucked up if he is. But he said God told him to. That's the direction he pointed at me. And he said, for some reason, he said he liked everything about me. And he don't really see girls that move like me or look at the camera like me. He said something drew him to me, and he just reached out once he saw that I followed him back. And he wanted to tell me that I was beautiful. So he didn't expect me to respond, and when I did, there was conversation. And there it was. And he said he was amazed at the person that I was. Like, he said, your personality is dope. He didn't say dope because he don't use those words, but you know what I mean. He said I was like, he said it's a really sophisticated conversations that we have, and he could actually talk to me, and it's like you're learning or you're getting something out of it, and he liked that. So I teach everybody who come my way, baby. But yeah, he was very happy to meet me. Like, I don't see right now where, if he is a scammer, scammers are good at what they do. So we can't sit here and say he's not, okay? We can't, because they are good at what they do. The connections you will feel is there. They're good at tricking people. Sociopaths, that's what they are, you know what I mean? So it's like, and I apologize for all this noise. And somebody just turned on the air conditioner upstairs, and that's why you hear that. So I apologize because I'm already talking low because of my daughter in the next room, and she about to wake up. So kind of sick that he just did that. One of them just turned the air on, so that's what y'all hear. I'll try to speak up a little bit, but yeah, it was kind of a bogus situation for me. So I'm going in with my Huda Beauty powder. Sasha Buttercup don't like me. She just ain't fucking with me no more. And so but yeah, do y'all think that I'm getting scammed? Is he gonna keep asking for money, and is this, we never gonna end up meeting in real life because he's gonna ghost me before he gets home, or he might pretend he died, and ain't no fucking telling. But that's a risk that I have to take, and it's gonna be a risk I'm willing to take, because I like to think that people aren't that messed up in the head. But I did run into a narcissist and married it, so I know that there are sick, twisted people out here. They're definitely out here. So I have to keep that in mind, and maybe God trying to see if I learned my lesson. But at the same time, I promise y'all, it feel like he's supposed to be with me. Like, that's how I feel. And I hope I'm right. And I asked him, I said, I hope that you're serious, and because I really want you, I want us, and it's crazy because I think he had a really big crush on me or something. And the fact that I like him just as much may be weird to a lot of people, but I'm not like acting hopeless romantic though. I'm like making sure that he don't feel like he's the fucking prize, even though he's a damn soldier. If I don't do anything for a guy, let it be somebody who was brave enough to go out here and fight for our country. His daughter is currently in a military-based daycare, and so is his wife's son. So that's what I was saying before I got rudely interrupted. His wife had a son before they met, and he was a baby though, and he actually took on the responsibility of the little boy when they married. And so when she passed away, he has both kids, because I guess the other child's father isn't in his life, and I didn't even ask him. I didn't want to know, because more than likely, yeah, they black. Daddy left, okay? I already know what the fuck the story is. I'm not about to ask him that. But so he's got her son and their daughter in this military daycare. They don't know when Daddy coming back, but that was the only resources that he had, because he's from Jamaica. He moved here with his uncle when he was 16. Uncle passed away. Both his parents passed away during COVID. So he is literally on his own with these kids, and he is deployed and out of the fucking country right now while his kids are here in this military daycare. And I'm like, yo, it's a lot. And I told him, I'm like, I said, you gotta get them a mother. Like, you can't. You gotta get them a mother. Like, what the fuck? I said, black people don't do that. We don't do that to our kids. Like, that's how kids end up with stories of molestation and stuff like that. We don't Won't do that. All he had was the white people at his military camp telling him, hey, we have these resources for you. It was the only thing he could do. He couldn't get out the military because of any of that shit. Like, you have to finish what you started. Like, it's prison time for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You ain't getting discharged. So he doing what he had to do. He said he got 12 more years he's gonna be there because he's got plans. And so I'm like, well, okay. But then he tell me, he says, I thought he was gonna ask me for some more money. And he was like, baby, he was like, would you do anything for me? Like, anything? If you could, would you do it? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, what do you want? I was like, I really can. I will. I said, but I'm not financially able to help you. Like, you know what I mean? I just threw that out there. He was like, no, that's not what I want. He was like, I want to know if you would, like, give me a baby. A baby? What? Anyway, I'm doing that as if I'm married. I ain't reversing shit. He was like, that's no problem. I asked him, I said, well, what do you want, boy or girl? He was like, whatever God gives us will be great. And he said that he talked to them, but he dated them, but he didn't find what he was looking for in them. I was like, oh shit, what if you don't like me when you meet me? He was like, I saw your pictures and your videos. He was like, you're perfect. He was like, don't say that. And this is that. I even told him when he was trying to pay my bills, I told him, I said, listen, I don't want to put any damper on you or cause any kind of to your bank account. He said, yeah, don't ever try that again. He said, I got it. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? But I guess he wants to take care of me, so we're gonna see, because he talking about December. December is right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be October right now, so. And if he pays my bills, I'm gonna be like, period. Period. And you know what? Another topic I should have been having with y'all was, why the fuck men having such a hard time paying all your bills in the first place, right? I was thinking about this shit earlier, and what makes sense to me, because we can't keep these little sluts from having side chicks and stuff like that, is that's why they argue is so tough, because they're not gonna have money for that other girl, because ain't nothing in life free. If you think he fucking with a side chick and he ain't giving up no goddamn cash, you're sorry, you stupid, okay? And that's just facts. So if they paying all the bills, they don't have money for a fucking side chick. They're not trying to work that hard, because if they go to work that hard, they can't fucking be with them. They can't be with the side chicks. So think about that. Like, really, they don't want to put all their fucking eggs in one basket. They giving her, paying half your bills, making you pay the other half of the bills, because half and half is better. So he could have extra money so he can go pay some of that bitch bills, or when her car break down, he could have the money to give to her. Yeah. Yep, it's a no. It's a no for me. Because it is October, we're going in with a cranberry matte. Yeah, tell me your opinion on it, because that's what I'm thinking like is going on. These men supposed to take care of home. And if y'all want to hear a part 2, let me know of what y'all think I should do in this situation, and what do you think the situation is that I'm even in right now. I'm in love with a fraud, but I'm a hopeless romantic, because that motherfucker might be telling the truth, and I think he might like me just as much as I like him, type shit. You know, because he's dope. He ain't got to pay any of my bills. I just would love for us to keep seeing each other. But we kind of ID cleared. We were together. after just 3 weeks of us talking, but we've been having some real relationship conversations, not us just having small talk. We've been really talking and digging into each other and what each other wants and relationship goals and just morals. We've been talking about a lot of that kind of stuff, and it's been pretty cool. He's a dope, respectable, very, very respectable guy, and I could tell he's not disrespectful at all to women. So I don't know. So yeah. But I tell him, and he say no, like, I am his family now, so he does have just the children in this country, and now he has me. So hopefully that works out. I'm gonna give you guys an update on it because I feel like an update is needed on what the hell is happening. But the update won't happen for a couple of more months when he gets home, and we'll see if he continues to communicate with me, if he decides to you know, if he's really gonna pay my bills when he get back. That's a thing. And if he does, and if he doesn't, it doesn't matter to me, because as long as we continue our relationship. But if you don't, you're gonna have to have an excuse for it, because why did you say that? Like, I told him he didn't have to, though. I mean, he laughed at me like, no, I got it, it's fine. And I'm like, hell, all them people fucking died. He probably got all kind of life insurance money, you know, or something. Because I'm like, I said, the military pay you that well? And he was like, LOL, yes. And he said that the money be doubled up. Told him, I said, well, I'll just move to the house, and because he offered for me to come with him to Miami when he get back. And I'm like, not when he get back, but he offered, like, why don't you just move here? He said, I got a 5-bedroom home, and you could take the extra room. And I should have kept this whole entire conversation to ourselves until he at least got back to the States, because he's very paranoid about anything. And he's careful. I pray for him every night, and all that good shit. And I was even praying for him while we weren't talking, because of me not knowing. I still pray for him. This is definitely sexy. I'm gonna pop these on off camera, come back, show you the finished look, and then we're gonna be done with this video. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I am back. I ended up placing my nose is running now, and rare for me, but it happens to a lot of people. I went in and I did apply my lashes. That's what I was doing. That's what I told you I was doing. And then I ended up deciding that the makeup look was all over the place for me, and that I needed to chisel out my and just contour line, because I need to clean up some stuff. Like, so I'm going in and I'm just about to deepen up my contour, and I needed to do that because it was just all over the place for me. You know, I didn't clean it up. So I'm gonna just go in with a deep contour here in the corner, and I'm gonna take that color and I'm gonna go right over top, and I'm gonna blend this out too as I do, because I'm gonna hit it a little bit. Harsh lines. No, I'm gonna blend it here, guys. But this guy is so goddamn fucking dope. Like, if I could read y'all the text he just sent me about being such an angel, and each day waking up there where he is worth waking up for. He looked forward to each day, because he, you know, I don't know, but he said it in a better way. Like, it was great. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, don't do me like this. You're making me melt. Like, if this guy ain't real, y'all, if he fucking a fraud, oh my God. Like, I know he's him. I know that. But are you going to play me? Are you going to act like, you know, you died or something in the military? Or are you, you know, I would hate to think that he would do something like that, because you just assume that people are normal. So I don't feel like he's going to. He just feel like he's too good to be true. And I do know the big flaw for him is his language barrier. He has terrible English, but I'll take it. He don't look like he would even speak anything other than English, because he looked like an American person just like me, but he has a complete big accent, and I'm like, yo. It's so funny. But hopefully one day I'll be able to do another video and actually introduce him to you, because if he is not fake, I'm definitely going to talk him into it, at least for one video. I'm going to ask him if he would be willing to do something like that in the future, because I want him to do my makeup. Now, I've never done a boyfriend does your makeup look, and I want to do it with him, and I think that'll be fun. And yeah, well, I appreciate you so much for watching. This is Rocky Streetz. Leave a comment. What do you think about the whole situation? Also, hit the subscribe button before you go. Do not forget to do that, please. And until next time, I will see you in the next one.